Good morning, everybody. I know it's pretty early, but I just want to jump on here and have a small talk with you this morning about something that we all face, that we all deal with, regardless to gender, social, economic status, race, creed, nationality, any of those things. It's something that we all face, and it is stress. You figured it out. It is stress. So I'm going to talk about stress this morning. Thank you for joining. I'm so glad you could be here today. I am your friend, Kizzy Staten Gray, certified life coach, author, and speaker. And I'm going to talk to you today about stress. It is something that we all have a challenge with if we don't regulate and control the stresses. Okay, good morning to you too. So, stress is caused by many things. So I'm going to talk to you about the causes of stress, the effects of stress on your body, on your health, and remedies. It's going to be a quick talk. I'm not going to talk long. Good morning, Michael and Tara. Thank you for joining. Tico, thank you all. So, the causes of stress. So, many things cause stress, It could be your kids won't stop screaming, your boss is hounding you, you got deadlines, you have IRS taxes due. It could be any of the things that stress your life out, but there are also some good things that stress your life out, and we'll talk about that too. So it could be getting married, planning a wedding, moving, getting a promotion. Those can be positive things that cause stress too. So it's not always negative things. So we're going to talk about those things. And the number one cause of stress is work-related stress issues. It tops the list. You got financial stresses. You have all kinds of stresses. So everyone has different stress triggers. We all recognize that our threshold for stress and the ability to manage it is all different. But work stress is one of the top at the list, okay? Other than financial stress, okay? So you might be unhappy with your job. You might have a heavy workload, working long hours. You might have poor management, unclear expectations on your job. Your boss is nagging you and working you beyond your job description. We've all faced that too. You have maybe you have speeches to give at work, or you have deadlines that are due that is just really creeping up on you. Also, there are life-related stresses. So if you have the death of a loved one, which I've experienced that. I had 4 deaths at the end of last year in 2 months of key people in my life. So that can be stressful. Planning funerals, all of the logistics that go behind that. And just grieving the loss of a loved one in and of itself is enough stress, okay? Also, financial obligations, of course. Getting married can be stressful. We talked about the positive stresses too. Moving to a new home, having to relocate, get all of those things in place and set up for yourself. Chronic illness and injury can be stressful. Also, taking care of an elderly person, someone who's sick in your family, a traumatic event like a national disaster. I have a friend who relocated from another city because her state got flooded out with the floods in Louisiana. So it could be a number of things. It could be theft, rape, violence, anything like that. Of course, traumatic situations causes stress. And we were having this discussion in one of my Facebook communities, and I thought that I would just come on here today and just address it publicly with everyone else. So if you have fear or anxiety, that definitely causes stress. And then your perception, your attitude, how you perceive situations, how you perceive and take on the circumstances that are happening in your life can cause stress. Unrealistic expectations cause stress. So especially if it's not communicated with a loved one, communicated in a relationship, whether it's a peer-to-peer or from an authority figure to you, or the expectations of your children, expectations of your spouse, uncommunicated or unrealistic expectations definitely cause stress. And it's not fair, definitely isn't fair to the other person if the communication has failed and they don't know that you have the expectation at all. So it's important that you do communicate. Thank you guys for joining. Please share out with your friends because somebody needs to hear this today. the effects of stress on your body. I'm keeping it really short and sweet. I will go back and add the details in later because I know many of you are getting ready for work or you have things to do and you can catch the replay, but I'm just going to be on here for just a quick bit. But I'm going to put in a report, a deeper discussion of these details that affects everybody. No one is exempt, not the CEO, not a grandmother, not anyone. Everyone is definitely going to face stress at some point in their lives, whether it's positive or negative. You will face stress. Now, how does it affect you? What does it have to do with your physical body, your emotional body, spiritually? It affects you in all different levels, okay? And so some of the effects that it may have on your body is headaches, fatigue, difficulty sleeping at night. Many people have sleeping disorders now. You see that on the TV all the time, sleep apnea and all kinds of things that they try to do to soothe and relax themselves. Of course, I have teachings on that about how to get a good night's rest. There's so much to it. Unplugging early, not having the bright lights on, maybe having some essential oils. It's many things that you can do to get yourself into a restful sleep, because if you don't get to that deep realm of sleep, it's not as effective. If you're tossing and turning all night, you're having difficulty sleeping, that definitely plays a part on the level of stress you have in the day, where you go to work, your interaction with others. If you're snapping, if you're quick to just bite someone's head off, that's because you are stressed, okay? If you have upset stomach, that's an effect of stress, irritability. Those are effects on your physical body. Now, when stress isn't dealt with for a long term, it's even if it's not properly addressed, then it definitely goes into deeper levels of effects on your body. So it will definitely go and lead to depression, high blood pressure, abnormal heartbeat. Now, if you had heart palpitations and you feel like you're coming under anxiety, you feel it in your physical body, these are signs, these are red flags, these are warnings. People are dying based on stress-related issues in their life that they're not dealing with. Why? Because it might be triggered by stress, but then it leads to these deeper-rooted issues that causes these physical effects in your body. So it leads to depression, like I said, high blood pressure, ulcers, heart attack, heart disease, heartburn, ulcers, irritable bowel syndrome, upset stomach, cramps, constipation, diarrhea, weight gain or weight loss. Both of them can be as a result of stress. Changes in your sex drive, fertility problems, flare-ups in asthma, arthritis. Now, I'm not saying if you have these conditions that they're all due to stress alone, but these things definitely trigger stress in your life. So if you're facing these flare-ups of asthma or arthritis, if your changes in your mood swings all the time, these things are related to stress. So if you're having even skin problems, acne, eczema, psoriasis, these all things can be triggered by stress. We've got to manage this thing. We cannot let it overwhelm and take you over, because then it just leads, to an unhealthy state of being. And who wants to deal with you when you're snappy and catty, right? So it takes over your mood shifts, your mood swings, and then you're not the person, you're not yourself. And it has an impact on everyone around you. And you think it's just you. However, it negatively affects those people who are positive influences in your life. Good morning to you too, Rachel, Tanya, Erica, all of you I miss, Tanya, Lewis, Tracy, Alan, Stewart, Mr. Draper, Diamond, Shanae, Norman, thank you for joining. Now, I just want to share with you the importance of not letting this thing fester, not letting it build and develop momentum in your life, because ultimately it will sabotage your efforts, your relationships, your progress, your productivity. It will overwhelm you. if you allow it to, if you allow it to rule and take charge in your life. Part of the stresses, most of them you can deal with. Some of them are out of control. Again, loss of loved ones, you can't control that, okay? Loss of a job, you probably couldn't control that either. There are many things that happen to your life, to you, and it affects the people around you. However, how you respond to that thing, how you harbor it in your heart, how you allow it to fester in your mind, triggers all these negative effects, health-wise in your life, emotionally wise, spiritually, all of these effects on your life. So catch the replay, share out with your friends and followers, definitely, because we're going to be talking about the causes of stress, the effects it has on your health, and the remedies. What are some things you can do? Okay, yeah, you say, I'm stressed now. What can I do about it? Well, there's several things you can do, and we're going to talk about those too. Now, this is a brief overview, guys. I'm going to be on here for a short amount of time, and I will put a longer report in here I'll post it on Facebook or on my website or something like that, so that you can go into deeper detail with it, because it's definitely vitally important. It's necessary for your well-being, and it's necessary for just your overall health, okay? Your emotional health, your physical health, your relational health, your financial health. It's necessary for you to thrive, have success, have all those things in 2020 that we talk about on our vision board. Another thing is, it relates to those kinds of things. Sometimes our stress can be related because we don't have realistic expectations, or our goals are not realistic in terms of achieving them in a time frame that we want. So you got to have realistic goals and then set those so that you can measure it by time, and setting your SMART goals. We all know about that. But those are things, and if you are trying to keep pace with someone else, stay in your own lane, work at your own pace, stay on track so that you're making progress for yourself. Comparison is a thief of contentment, okay? So don't compare yourself to anybody else. Stay in your lane, focus on your goals, and you can achieve them, okay? So that is another thing that can cause stress. Stop worrying about what the next man does. It's none of your business, okay? And what they think about you and your progress is none of your business. Slow progress is better than no progress, okay? So keep it moving. Don't feel like you have to rush and hurry along, and I got to accomplish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got to accomplish all this right out the gate. It's January, and I want to say I have accomplished 20 things. Hey, if you can accomplish 5 or 10, great. But don't overwhelm yourself and stress yourself out. Put yourself in an early grave unnecessarily, okay? So here are some things, some remedies, some reliefs of stress and anxiety, okay? Exercise. You wouldn't think that would be one of the remedies for stress, but I promise you, CEOs and people who are leaders and forerunners for organizations and companies and corporations, they have to have relief, and they release themselves through exercise. That's one way. That's a top way to release yourself. It might seem contradictory. However, it is beneficial because you have to exert that energy. You have to get it out. Get out your stresses, release it in a gym, leave it in the gym or at home or your workout. Release it before you take it out on other people and other relationships and people who you deal with. And especially if you are a manager of people, you definitely want to relieve your stress so that you don't come off in a certain tone that is condescending or snappy or any of those things, okay? So you want to make sure that you relieve the stress so that others are not impacted negatively by it. So stress can be relieved by exercise. Although seeming contradictory, but physical stress on your body is relieved through exercise, and mental stress also as well. Okay, one of the things you can do is consider supplements. Certain supplements help your mood, help shift you, help relax you, help calm you. Some of these things that you need to take, you have lemon balm, you have omega-3 fatty acids, green tea is relaxing and soothing, kava. There's so many things that you can do. And I won't go through them all. This is just a brief overview, okay? So lighting a candle, diffusing essential oils. Yes, Leah says work out every day. She's a manager of people, and it's so true. Yes, if you don't exercise or if you don't relieve that stress somehow, if it's a jog in the morning, if it's a workout, if it's cycling around for miles before the people and get that stress off of you, like release that steam, or it's going to show up in your workplace. It's going to show up in your conversation, your tone, your attitude, and it's important. Okay, so even if we talked about releasing or diffusing essential oils, lavender, rose, bergamot, chamomile, ylang ylang, orange blossom, geranium. These are things that will help soothe, relax, it shifts your mood. These are things that are all natural, that are effective and scientifically proven to help change your mood and relax you, okay? It doesn't take the problem away, no, but it does help to relax you and allow you to calm down. Oh yeah, Leah says, I am not the same person when I don't, and when she doesn't exercise, laugh out loud. She can become naggy Maggie. Absolutely. Definitely. Debbie Downer, you can become all kinds of things. Negative Nancy, all of those things when you don't get it off. When you don't release it, oh my gosh, you're forced to be reckoned with, and you don't want to be dealt with. And people feel that, and people are like, ooh, what's wrong with her today? So definitely want to release that stress before you deal with people, even before you deal with your spouse, before you deal with your children. Release that thing so that you don't carry it with you where you go. And it happens. We see it even in rush hour traffic. Stress, tension all the way up to the hilt, okay? So reduce your caffeine intake. That seems also contradictory, but caffeine also can get you wired and worked up, and it has an effect. It has both effects on people. So if caffeine has that negative effect on you, then you want to reduce the amount that you have, okay? Write it down, journal. Write down what's stressing you. Get it off your brain. Stop carrying the thought around, the heavy load. If you don't have someone to confide in, a BFF or someone who's your colleague or counterpart or somebody that you can confide in, write it out. Talk it out with someone if you can. If you have a therapist, wonderful. If you have someone you can talk to, if you have someone that you can just release with, that's a beautiful thing. Keep that, treasure that, that's valuable. If you don't have that, write it down, okay? That's a way of stress relieving. It doesn't seem like it, but for people who journal, we know that's a good thing, okay? Prayer and meditation on scripture. How important is that? That can help you to get a healthy perspective, see things from other people's perspective and not just yours. You might be 100% right, but it'll allow you to see the other person's perspective, especially in relationships, workplace, home, community. Definitely take time to pray about it. The scripture says, come to me, all you are heavy laden and burden, and he will give you rest for your soul, your mind, your will, emotions, okay? Rest is needed, okay? Laugh. Get somewhere and laugh. Laughing releases all kinds of positive chemicals in your body. Get that laughter on. Laughter is as good as a medicine, okay? Learn to say no. Have healthy boundaries, okay? If you say yes to things that you know you don't want to participate in, that yes is denying yourself. That yes to someone else is giving a no to yourself, and it is making you grumpy, grouchy, and disgruntled. You don't want to do that. Learn to say no. It protects you. It protects your mood, your attitude. It preserves your energy. It preserves you. So definitely learn to say no. No is a complete sentence. No does not have to be explained. No is just okay. Be okay with just saying no. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to validate it. You don't have to do any of those things. Just say no. You'll feel better. You'll thank yourself later for saying no now. If you don't take on too much and you have your plate full, you're trying to juggle too many things, just calmly decline the offer. okay? I can't go out tonight. Oh, I can't go on that trip. Well, I wish I could, but you know what your responsibilities, you know what your energy levels are, you know what your obligations are. Decline it, okay? Just say no. Learn to avoid procrastination. Whoo, that's a big one. We all face it. Well, most of us face it. Procrastination. That one thing is a thief of your joy, of your contentment, of your peace. Procrastination just robs you. If you can do it, do it. If you can get it done, get it done. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. I promise you, it robs you of your joy, rest, and peace. If you cannot, oh, Tanya said, that's me. It's me too. I'm guilty as well. So I think we have all been guilty at some point. We've been guilty of that in college. We've been guilty of that in the workplace, on the job. We have been guilty of that. But if you can avoid procrastination leads to being late. And then you're late, then you're stuck in traffic. Then you're mad at everybody there. And then you're having road rage and you're facing, it's like a domino effect. One thing after the other. Then you're walking into the office late and the boss is looking for something. It is just, just a domino effect. Hey, cuz, thanks for joining. It's a domino effect, and it definitely negatively impacts your life and your circumstances. So write a to-do list. Start getting stuff done. Stop putting it off. It can lead to so many things. So it needs to be done. Make time for it. Stay on top of your to-do list. Helps you alleviate that, okay? Take a class. Get a hobby. Get something off. If you are in a high-stress job or a high-power position, you know it. You need an outlet. Get yourself some friends. Get yourself a hobby. Get yourself an outlet. Do not go on in your high stress position without an outlet. You need a release. If you need to go play golf, if you need to go take a dance class, if you need to go do something, do it, okay? This is a new year. Start a new habit. Start healthy habits that will help you progress and actually build momentum so that you can achieve the goals that you plan to do. Practice mindfulness is another one. Mindfulness is allowing yourself to be present in the moment, not to feel so hurried in a rush. We're all in a hustle and bustle, in a hurry to get nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. We sitting here just stressed, pressed, full of anxiety. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta be here, Just step back, rest, and unplug from the things that are just stressing you out. Practice mindfulness. Cuddling with a loved one. Touch and feels. Now, psychologically, it has an effect on your body for touching and feeling and cuddling with a loved one. If that's a child, if that's a spouse, if that's your pet, it's something to be said about being able to have that warm and fuzzy feeling with somebody. If it's your grandma, just snuggling up with her on a couch and talking to her. Hey, boo, how are you, Tasha? Good to see you, T. So good to see you. Listen to soothing music. Music has been scientifically proven to relax, to eliminate stress, just to put you in a mood. You can put on, you can be in a certain mode. It changes moods too. Music shifts an atmosphere, and we know that I've done teachings on that as well. But if you put on some, I'm going old school, Sade or something to relax you, it just takes you in another realm. It takes you to a place where you can just, relax and just de-stress from it. Good morning, woman of God. How are you, Linnell? Practice deep breathing. That's one thing. So we talked about the effects of negativity, stress, and anxiety on your body. If you start deep breathing, if you had a racing heart, anxiety, you had high blood pressure and all these different things, practice deep breathing. It has so many tremendous benefits. It relieves you of your fight or flight mode, okay? A deep breathing exercise can help activate your nervous system, which controls your relaxation response. And so there are several different ways you can do it: abdominal breathing, breathing from your diaphragm, belly breathing. and paced respiration. So there are different ways you can do it. And again, I'll put the full report in here later, but I'm just going over a brief overview. Bottom line is, we have different triggers, whether it's workplace related, personal life, whether it is with your children, with your spouse. You need to take a break. You might need more sleep. Sleep does wonders for your body. It allows you to rejuvenate, recuperate, so that you can come back fresh and renewed. Counting to 10 and walking away. If you are in a stressful moment, even at work, you might say, okay, let me get back to you in 10 or 15 minutes, and walk away. Go to the bathroom. Go walk around the building. Go walk to your car in a parking lot and come back. Fresh air. Get some fresh air. Those kinds of things help you, because if you respond quick, if you got a quick comeback, if you already know how you are, if you're salty about a situation, hey, walk away. Take a break. That is important. It can save your relationship. It can save your job. It can save your promotion. It can save you in so many ways. So how you respond to things when you are stressed out. Simplify. Simplifying is another reason. I was going to give you 20. I got a long list, but I'm going to stop at 20. Simplify. Simplifying your life so that you are not cluttered. So even a cluttered house is a cluttered mind, a cluttered car. All of these things put stress on your mind, your life, your existence, your well-being, your ability to make good decisions, especially if you're a leader. All of these things are impacted by your lack of simplicity. If you can simplify your schedule, if you can cut back and reduce the activities, if you can unplug and deprogram on all of those kinds of things, do it. Also, the last one, stop overthinking. Overthinking, having, if you don't kill those ants, which are automatic negative thoughts, if you don't crush those ants and squash them right away, they will fester and become a deeper rooted issue, okay? Those self-sabotaging thoughts, if you don't tackle that from the onset, it is going to be a hindrance to your progress. It will hinder your momentum. It will hinder the things that you plan to do. So I just want to come on and tell you those few things that cause stress, the relief of stress, and the effects that it has on your body. So again, none of us are exempt, but how we respond to it is everything. How you respond to the stress is everything. Good morning, Prophetess. Good morning, Makai. Good morning, Barbara. Thank you for joining. Listen, take it in stride. Purpose to live a stress-free life. Good morning, Pastor Latrina. Purpose to have a stress-free life. I mean, we all face stresses, and some that are beyond our control. Like I said, loss of a loved one, loss of a job, some things that we cannot control. But the things that we can control and how we respond to it, we have got to respond better so that it doesn't negatively affect us in our health. You see people dying all the time. And yes, we might say, yeah, they've died from a heart attack, they've died from this, they've died from a stroke. But a lot of that is a result of mismanaged stress, okay? Those other things were symptoms, but the deeper rooted cause was a stress that they didn't nip in a bud, they didn't handle or process appropriately, and now it has come back to bite them, basically. The negative health, the high blood pressure, all of these things definitely impacts your life, and the people who are in your sphere of influence are impacted by how you handle stress. So in the beginning of this year is a good time to get control of it, to get control of your emotions, to get control of how you handle things, how you respond to things. It is definitely value. It's a valuable asset to learn how to budget, manage, steward your stress levels. It's important. So, all right, guys, I just want to come on here and we talk about those simple ways of how to relieve the stresses and how to overcome these things. And if you know these things and you see these red flags, you know how to avoid them. If you know that there are certain triggers that set you off, then know how to walk away from it, know how to avoid it, know how to deal with it. Know yourself. You have to evaluate where you are, what triggers you, what sets you off, what is too much, and what is not enough, so that you can respond appropriately. We don't have time for that. It's a new year. It's a new you. And you need to be the best that you can be, and you can do that by managing your stress well, okay? Because we all have to face it. Again, none of us are exempt, but how you handle it is everything. Everything. And I want you to be well. I want you to thrive. I want you to soar. I want to see you doing it. You know, we all should be pushing each other to greatness. And that is one of my purposes, to push you into greatness, to encourage you, empower you, and to cheer you on, because I want to see you win. We all want to win, right? And I want to see you win. I want to see you do well. I want to see you advance and go and do all the things that you purpose to do, fulfill your purpose, your assignment. And that's important, right? That's what it's all about. So I am signing off. Blessings to you all. Thank you for joining. Share out with your followers. Catch the replay. For those of you who are catching a replay, thank you for joining, and share out with other people. I will put the detailed report in here later today, but I just wanted to give that overview for you because it's something we all face. So blessings to you all. Have a good day now. Thank you for joining. I'm your friend, Kizzy Staten Gray, certified life coach, author, and speaker. Thanks for joining. Bye.